Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Dalby. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce, and I want to thank each of you for joining us here this afternoon and being with us. Now, this is definitely not how we envisioned our annual meeting taking place when we were planning it earlier this year. We had hoped to gather in May to welcome our new board, to celebrate the Chamber's accomplishments, and to talk about our vision for the upcoming year. But like so many of you, COVID-19 forced us to shift gears and come up with new and creative ways of doing business. For us, that meant shifting most of our events from Wake Up Naples to, yes, even this annual meeting to become virtual events. We look forward to the day when we can all get back together again and be in person to celebrate our community's accomplishments. But until then, we want to thank you for supporting our work virtually. I especially want to thank our chamber investors. All our members have been so strong and so supportive through this. And these past few months have been difficult for all the businesses in our community. And the chamber has not been spared itself. But we're very thankful for those business leaders who continued their steadfast support of the chamber and its mission throughout. I also want to give a very special thanks to our event sponsors today. The annual meeting has historically been one of the Chamber's largest fundraisers. And without your generous support, today's event could not happen. So thank you to each of these event sponsors for today. Now, before we begin today's programs, I do have a few reminders. There are opportunities to network with your fellow attendees throughout the program. On the main stage, you can share your opinion via the chat function or be on the lookout for polling questions we may ask. After the presentation, the event will remain open for 1 hour. During that time, you can feel free to explore the capabilities of this new platform. You may enter a breakout session to ask questions and learn more about the pillars of the chamber, or you may explore the sponsor booths. You can also connect one-to-one with attendees by requesting a video chat from their profile. Finally, this meeting is being recorded, and we'll send it to all the participants after the event. Now, as I mentioned, we're grateful to have the support of so many longtime chamber members, one of which is Stock Development. They are one of our event sponsors today. A chamber member since 2003, Stock Development has changed the landscape of Collier County over the past 20 years and is committed to the work of the chamber throughout. Thank you very much. Please take a moment to visit all the expo booths and learn more about Stock Development and other event sponsors. Now, as some of you may recall, we kicked off 2020 by unveiling a new logo and a new mission. Our goal was to keep the best parts of the traditional story while showcasing what is at the heart of what we do each and every day, making connections between people, businesses, and communities. At the Greater Naples Chamber, we work each day to cultivate economic opportunity for all through economic partnerships, advocacy, and leadership. Our goal is to create a prosperous community that attracts employers, residents, and visitors alike. This may be a lofty goal, but from being a clearinghouse for business resources to advocating for water quality issues, the Chamber is working to better our community for generations to come. Our partnership with Collier County government has helped boost the economy, and our relationships with local and state leaders have allowed us to advocate for our community. As our leadership programs help to orient Southwest Florida leaders and emerging leaders on issues and opportunities facing our region, we continue that work as well. The work of the Chamber staff in these areas provides a meaningful service to our members, who are the lifeline of our organization. A great example of the ways in which our mission comes to life is the work of our foundation, the Leadership Collier Foundation. Its role within the mission of the Chamber is to activate the potential of Collier County's leading workforce to build a stronger community. As our team is developing the foundation's communication efforts, you get a very special first look at one of a series of videos still in progress.
Growing up, my mom always told me to seize every opportunity I can to learn, and it definitely was a life-changing experience just to be even affiliated with something like this.
It wasn't even something I knew I was missing. And so when I came here and I had this opportunity, it was kind of like a light bulb went off in my head that, this is my chance to really understand what it is to be part of a community.
The first day we did education, and then our second day we learned about human services. And from that point, I knew I took my passion, which was education and children and youth, and took that to a whole nother level.
The Leadership Collier Foundation takes raw and emerging talent and crafts these talented people into great leaders for our community. And we need those kinds of people to fulfill the mission of the Chamber, to create a robust, strong economy with economic opportunity for all.
That's a great video, and I really appreciate all those who participated in it to help us tell the story of the connection between leadership and the Chamber. Now, this is a time when I'm supposed to kind of give a look back at our previous fiscal year, 2019-2020. I think it's safe to say that 2020 has certainly been an unprecedented year. Like so many businesses and organizations in Collier County and Southwest Florida, the Chamber was on track to have one of our strongest years to date. Revenues were trending upward, and more businesses were interested in joining our efforts. Our push to grow membership wasn't just about the bottom line. In fact, in recent years, we focused on crafting a plan to attract quality members who support our mission. That meant that new members were more engaged in the work that we do each and every day, from advocating for business-friendly policies to connecting students to local careers, as was mentioned in the video. And then came March, and everything changed. As COVID-19 hit our community, the Chamber took steps to ensure that we could fulfill our mission while keeping membership, community, and our staff healthy and safe. We had more than 500 one-on-one conversations with member businesses during that time period to help us better understand what they were going through and how we could help them. We answered questions about where to find resources, everything from applying for grants to trying to find hand sanitizer so that their business could stay open. We encouraged lawmakers to take steps to keep our economy open and held virtual roundtables with health officials and connected community leaders to opportunities to help those in need. Like so many of you, the Chamber staff did it all while working from home. While our offices were physically closed from mid-March until June 1st, the Chamber team never stopped working towards the goal of creating economic opportunity for all. They worked from their kitchen tables, from their spare bedrooms, really anywhere that they could get a Wi-Fi connection, to ensure Collier County remained the best place to live, work, and play for years to come. I want to take a minute to thank all of the Chamber staff. They have been in hard work throughout this entire time. I'm very privileged to work with this incredible group of individuals, and I'm proud of everything that they have accomplished. Thank you, Chamber staff. Their dedication, their creativity, and their willingness to pivot have made these difficult times just a little bit easier. Thank you all. So speaking of pivoting, the Chamber had to do that a number of different ways. Excuse me. We all became experts at Zoom, right? Hosting everything from Wake Up Naples to our board of directors meetings virtually. We brought in statewide officials to talk to our members about the impact that the pandemic was having. We hosted weekly updates from community leaders, and we facilitated several projects to support frontline workers. Throughout it all, the Chamber's work continued. For the past several years, the Chamber has identified housing affordability and talent development as two of our top public policy issues. This year, we advocated for a variety of projects that would increase the affordable housing inventory, including a project spearheaded and funded by the Community Foundation of Collier County, the Moorings Park Foundation, and the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation at the Golden Gate Golf Course. Once completed, this development will not only have 250 units of housing available for essential workers, but also increase the availability of housing for seniors and veterans. We were proud to endorse this development and look forward to its completion. Our work on talent development spanned every aspect of our operations. We advocated for increased state funding for career and technical training and facilitated discussions between state and local educators on how we can expand workforce training opportunities here in Collier County. And through the Foundation's Work-Based Learning Initiative, we connected business leaders with high school seniors to learn about local careers, hosted informational interviews, and even helped students turn their in-person internships into virtual ones. Our Leadership Collier Foundation also continued to offer high-quality leadership programming, despite restrictions with in-person gatherings. We've worked to help keep alumni connected, whether that be hosting virtual leadership lunches or encouraging classes to send letters to educators as they headed back to school. And as world events shined a light on racial and social tensions, Leadership Collier alumni formed a committee to look at how we can address diversity, equity, and inclusion as it relates to our mission. In the past 12 months, the Partnership for Collier's Future Economy, our economic development arm, has met with more than 70 local businesses to identify business needs and opportunities. The partnership actively works to identify companies looking to grow and expand in our community. And recently, the partnership hosted, albeit virtually, its first economic summit, highlighting the relationship between the Chamber, Collier County, FGCU, and others to help grow our economy. Overall, the 2019-2020 year was an extraordinary one, filled with challenges of every type. But we also saw opportunities. And as we look ahead to the next 6 months of this current fiscal year and beyond, we're going to carry those lessons over and help us to continue to do the work of the Chamber and grow our economy. Again, I want to thank you all for your support. Your membership, your support, your leadership means everything to us. Thank you very much. Now, before I introduce our first speaker, I'd like to say thank you to today's title sponsor, the Naples Daily News. Serving our region for 90 years through award-winning journalism, community newspapers, websites, and special events, the Naples Daily News is unmatched in delivering valuable information and services to Naples and Southwest Florida. And now I am pleased to introduce Bill Barker, the publisher of the Naples Daily News and the regional president for Gannett and USA Today Network. Bill has the distinguished honor of now serving as the Chamber's immediate past chair, serving as the Chamber's chairman from June 2018 until May 2020. Bill's guidance was crucial to the Chamber's decision to advocate for Collier County's one-set infrastructure sales surtax, to expand our work-based learning initiative, and to create strategic public policy partnerships with our counterparts in Lee County. Bill?
Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it. Here we are in a very unusual 2020, shooting videos, coming together virtually in our home offices and celebrating another great year at the Chamber. We're all making it work, and I'm really proud of us at the Chamber, all we've been able to do during this unprecedented time. I have to say, it's been a real honor to be your chair of the Chamber of Commerce. It's been a crazy couple of years and a lot of fun. And I want to thank Dan Lavender for his confidence in asking me to follow him as his chair-elect. Dan left some big shoes to fill, and I certainly hope we haven't disappointed. And I must say, working with such a great board of directors has been a real honor. We have such a talented and committed and engaged board. And Michael, you and the staff are just simply outstanding. It's been a real joy getting to know you so well and working with you and just seeing this chamber blossom. You're a great team and you get a lot done, and the community is the benefactor for sure. Well, we've had a couple of good years, as I said. I recall sitting in my office some 4 years ago or so, contemplating the chairmanship opportunity, and subsequently a group of us coming together there, meeting on a multi-year strategy and a vision for the chamber. And what we wanted to be sitting around a breakfast table talking about in 2020, the things we accomplished, the things we were proud of, and what we thought at the time it might look like then. Man, hard to believe it's 2020 now. And what a year, like we talked about. We could have never thought 2020 would have been like this. But you all and the board have stepped up to the occasion and weathered the storm incredibly well. And frankly, we couldn't have predicted all the buildup to this unprecedented year as well. When we stepped in, we were just beginning the planning, and consideration was underway to bring the community the idea of a penny tax to help create alternative funding to help address infrastructure needs we have here in Collier County. Taking a real leadership role within the community and demonstrating our ability to convene thought leadership and to help the community understand the options they had in front of them and available for funding these needs. Many thought it couldn't be done, but we made a case based on fact, and the wise people here in Collier County saw the vision and voted it in. So it has not been boring, to say the least, over these last couple of years, but it's been rewarding equally. But we've also come a long way in how we think about the chamber and our strategic vision for the long term as a thought leadership organization. More influence around the important policy issues to ensure a healthy business environment that strengthens the very foundation of a great community. And frankly, this is one of the best communities in the country. The chamber is well positioned, as I said, and you all have weathered this pandemic very well and remain financially strong, and frankly strong by all measures. You have some great years ahead, and I'm very proud and thankful to Garrett Richter for agreeing to serve as chair-elect during my tenure as chair. And I really look forward to seeing the continued work that he brings forward as chairman, working with this board and working with you all as staff, and just what a great 2 years we have ahead under his leadership. He's just been such a solid supporter of me during my tenure. And Garrett, I thank you very much for that. But before I hand it back to you, Michael, I do want to take a minute to thank those outgoing board members as well. Stefan Muehlbauer has served on our board since 2014 and worked hard until his business took him out of Naples. We thank him for his service. I always found Stefan's thoughts and things that he brought, his ideas were real thought-provoking, and his insights around ideas from an entrepreneurial thinking and investment thinking were always sound, and I enjoyed our conversations. My good friend Danny Pate, who ran CenturyLink here in Naples, but also for the state of Florida, got an expanded role, and he relocated to Orlando. And we sure have missed you, Danny, but we thank you so much for what you did here in Collier County while you were here, and for your service to the chamber. And finally, I want to thank Ryan Williams. Ryan served this community through the Chamber Board of Directors since 2011. Ryan brought forth some hard work, good thinking, and I really am grateful to you, Ryan, for your support and appreciate your service. Finally, I just want to thank everybody that supported me over the last couple of years. I'll continue to serve as past chair and work hard with Garrett and the board and the staff, but I really have enjoyed these couple of years as chair. It's just been a real highlight of my career, and I'm very thankful. So, Michael, back to you.
Well, thank you, Bill, very much for your vision and your leadership. You've been a great leader for us, a great chairman, and we really appreciate all that you've done to make us better. And we look forward to continuing to work with you here in the future. At this time, I'd like to thank another one of our event sponsors, First Florida Integrity Bank. First Florida Integrity has done a tremendous work for Collier County. They are truly a community bank. As businesses struggled to make ends meet during COVID-19, FFIB stepped up to the plate and to help those businesses to secure $186 million in small business loans through the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program. And as I noticed today, they were received the honor of being one of the best in Naples, and they are. And now I have the honor of introducing the Chamber's new chairman, Garrett Richter, the president and CEO of First Florida Integrity Bank. Garrett has been a stalwart of this community for more than 3 decades. A longtime community banker, Garrett also served in the Florida Senate from 2008 until 2016 and spent 2 terms as the Senate President Pro Tem. His dedication to this community knows no bounds, and we are thrilled to have him serve as our chairman. We know that with him at the helm, we'll be able to elevate our work within the community. Garrett?
Thank you, Michael. I certainly appreciate that introduction, and I just want to congratulate you on what a tremendous staff you have at the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for your commitment and your staff's commitment. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the new directors of our Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce. These directors, along with the other board members, give their time and talent to this community, and I'm proud to serve with them. The new directors joining the board for this upcoming year are my next door neighbor and very good friend, John DeAngelis. John is a founder of DeAngelis and Diamond, a terrific local, state, and national builder. Tim Dupree. Tim is the president and CEO of Conditioned Air. You might say he's the coolest addition to our board. James McManaman. Welcome to Naples and to the board, James. James is the general manager of our Ritz-Carlton Resort Hotels in Naples. We all know the tremendous impact the Ritz has had and continues to have on our community. Patrick O'Connor with Sotheby's International Realty. Patrick is my brother from another mother. He's been a strong chamber advocate and member for over 30 years. Welcome back to our board, Patrick. And Hector Sanchez. Hector runs Central Wire Industries in Naples. His perspective on our board will be most meaningful. Welcome to the board, Hector, and thank you for accepting our invitation. These 5 individuals add more talent and prestige to an already talented and prestigious board of directors, all committed to enhancing and wisely growing our community. There are so many different factors that are at play in our country and community right now. Like every successful organization today, your chamber is focused on being nimble and responsive in our community. It feels like years and years ago that we organized our voice to collectively support the 1% sales tax in Collier County. A motivation to get this done was our need for affordable housing in this great community for our school teachers, our nurses, our first responders, and many more that make this a great community. Another motivating factor was the need for a quality workforce training initiative to provide qualified workers to the employers in our community. A third motivating factor is our need to address the mental health challenges in our community. Today, this issue is addressed by the good and meaningful work of the David Lawrence Center. The David Lawrence Center takes on the issues we whisper about until they directly impact our lives. Then we pray about them. Mental health issues are like the wind. You can't see it, but you can sure feel its impact. Your chamber, under the leadership of Bill Barker, took a position on these issues and the initiative prevailed. That's good work. I recall when I ran for the House of Representatives in Tallahassee in 2006. I succeeded Dudley Goodlett, another former chair of the Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce. As I sat in his chair, I looked down and made the analogy that I sure had big shoes to fill. At that time, it was a figure of speech because of the tremendous good Dudley did for our community and for our state. Now, here I am 14 years later, succeeding another great community leader and advocate, Bill Barker. And as I look down now, it's no longer a figure of speech. Man, I sure got big shoes to fill. Bill's leadership over the past few years has been enlightening, it's been valuable, it's been effective, and it's been enjoyable. I'm mighty glad that Bill will be on board as past chairman to provide me his insights and his counsel. Bill, congratulations to you on your very successful tenure as chamber chair. Our community is better because of your commitment, your energy, and your contributions. In spite of these challenging times, your chamber has momentum. Your chamber has commitment. Your chamber has energy, and your chamber has you. The businesses in our community that make up the chamber are the heartbeat of our community. They keep this community alive. If I were to select a theme for the next year for our chamber, my theme might be back to normal. Now, having said that, I would also challenge this theme. You see, I'm an advocate to always move forward, not backward. And I'm not sure what normal will be. So as we back up a bit, let's always face forward with an eye on opportunity. I've always said we live in a world of change, but I'm not sure I've ever seen things change so rapidly and so dramatically as they have in the past 6 months. I used to tell people that in the past 100 or more years, we've gone from everybody owning a horse and only rich people owning cars to everybody owning a car with only rich people owning horses. Now that's quite a bit of change, but it took over 100 years for that change to occur. Today, social distancing, face coverings, and virtual gatherings have altered our normal. Siri tells me the definition of normal is conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected. I think we can all agree that little is typical these days, and that which we can expect seems to only be the unexpected. Nonetheless, we will thrive, we will grow, we will engage, and we will succeed. Naples and all of Southwest Florida is our paradise. Thank you for tuning in to this virtual gathering, and thank you for your commitment to our community and to the Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Garrett, very much. Really appreciate those insightful comments. And thank you for your great sense of humor. We all look forward to working with you over the next 2 years. And we all look forward to looking forward and seeing what achievements we can accomplish under your leadership. Thank you again very much. Before I introduce our next speaker, I would also like to recognize the remaining officers for the Chamber for the 2020-2022 term. Julie Smelsley will serve as chair-elect and chair of the Public Policy Committee. Derek Ayers and David Gordley will be the co-chairs of the Finance and Audit Committee. Jason Korn and Jeannie Seawald will serve as co-chairs of the Governance and Nominating Committee. CeCe Marinelli will chair our Development Committee. And Dr. Ashigal Tamor will chair the Leadership Collier Foundation, while Chris Vernon will be the chair of the Partnership for Collier's Future Economy. Additionally, Pat Utter from Collier Enterprises and John Schmeeding from Arthrex will serve as executive officers. Thanks to all of them for their leadership and support. Now, as we've discussed, the pandemic has had a significant impact on our lives. It has changed the fabric of our community and reminded us of the importance of joining together. No one understands the challenges of the coronavirus has presented to us more than Paul Hiltz, the CEO of NCH, and all his team members. Over the past 7 months, the team at NCH has been on the front lines of our community's fight against the coronavirus, working each day to ensure our family, friends, and neighbors are healthy and safe. It is my privilege at this time now to introduce Paul Hiltz to talk about the work of the hospital and our community's response. Paul?
Hello, friends at the Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce. Well, it's been a challenging last couple of months, hasn't it? From a business point of view, from a health point of view, all across the country, and especially here in Southwest Florida. It's been challenging, but we've risen to the challenge. You have. And how have we done it? We've done it as a community. When I think of the response of this community, I think of all of you, the businesses that have so greatly stepped up to help the healthcare workers, the first responders who stepped up to help this community. And I'm deeply humbled and really gratified and proud of our region. You stepped up to help the healthcare workers on the front line, and we felt it here at NCH. And it allowed us to do an outstanding job to take care of our community. You know, since the start of this pandemic, we've treated literally thousands of infected patients. And you supplied lunches and dinners and all kinds of food and notes, support, signs, and our healthcare workers felt that. It allowed them to take care of a community over this course of several months where we did not have one patient infected by another COVID patient. Amazing. We only had one healthcare worker infected after all the thousands of patients we've treated. And thankfully, that worker has recovered and is back to work. So an amazing team effort by everyone in this community. As I said, from first responders to the frontline healthcare workers, doctors, nurses. I'm just incredibly proud of what we've done. And our elected officials stepped up in a big, big way. And you know that we have an initiative going with the city of Naples right now called All Heroes Wear Masks. We know that wearing a mask, social distancing, washing of hands, all of that will help us to prevent the further spread of COVID-19. We peaked here in this region at around July 29th or 30th. And since then, the incidence of COVID-19 has declined rapidly. And as I speak to you today, we have 20-some infected patients in the hospital. We were at a high of over 160 patients at one point in July. So great job, elected officials, first responders, the business community, Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce. You can be proud of yourselves. And we are deeply grateful to all the support in this community. I've been asked if it's safe to come back to the hospital and the doctor's offices. The answer is yes. Please know that our healthcare facilities at NCH are safe. They're open. We're ready here to take care of you and to take care of this community. What do we see going forward? Well, hopefully we're coming back to life here, coming back into business. And we think season is going to be a busy one. We're prepared here. We have capacity. We're ready in case a second surge of COVID-19 hits. We hope it doesn't. We're asking people to, again, maintain the social distancing, keep wearing the masks, and keep washing your hands. Let's get through this thing together. So thanks again for welcoming me to Southwest Florida. It's been 1 year that I've been here. I greatly appreciate the support. We at NCH feel the support. We're here to take care of this community, and we'll be here for many, many years to come. Thanks again.
Well, thank you so much, Paul, and all of your team members. Thank you for everything you've been doing to keep us healthy. I'm going to use you as a little bit of a proxy. There are a lot of healthcare workers and a lot of different organizations that have helped us through all of this, along with, as you mentioned, first responders. And a little earlier on this year in another event, we did a virtual standing ovation. And if we were all together, as we had planned to be, this would be one of those moments to give one of those standing ovations. So please feel from us a standing ovation to you, to all the healthcare workers in all the different operations across our community. And to all the first responders and everybody who's helped us through all of this, thank you so much. And now I have the distinct honor of introducing today's keynote speaker, Eric Salaji. Eric is the president and CEO of Florida Power and Light. Eric understands the importance that business can have on elevating communities. He is committed to the work that chambers of commerce do each and every day. Eric previously served as the chairman of the Florida Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors from 2013 to 2014. He also serves on the Florida Council of 100 and on the Enterprise Florida Board. We are very honored to have him with us here today. Eric?
Hi, everyone. It's Eric Salaji from Florida Power and Light Company. Like all of you, I wish we could be together in person, but it's great to be part of the first ever virtual Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. This is a great example how all of us are continuing to find new ways to do our jobs and stay connected during these extraordinary times. Local chambers truly make a meaningful difference for our businesses, advocating on their behalf, helping develop talent and leaders, and providing access to invaluable resources and information. The work that the Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce is doing right now is arguably more important than ever before. So thank you for keeping your focus on our businesses and for being trusted leaders in the community. At FPL, we certainly understand the vital role reliable electricity plays in all of this, from fighting COVID-19 to building back our economy. I want you to know that we take our duty to serve you and all of our customers during this global pandemic extremely seriously. As I've said many times before, it's awfully hard for doctors and nurses to do their jobs without electricity. And it's incredibly difficult to work from home without power. And it's not easy for businesses to keep running if the lights go out. And the list goes on and on. Simply put, reliable electricity is at the core of how we overcome these challenges and get our state back up on our feet, particularly as we move through what could be one of the most active hurricane seasons on record. As you all know, Florida's economy is the 17th largest in the world, $1 trillion GDP. And an economy so large and so diverse can't simply be turned back on overnight. Unfortunately, there's no magic switch. Instead, this must be a slow and safe reopening, none of which can happen without you and our businesses right here in Southwest Florida. Like so many others across the state and the country, Florida businesses, small and large, have been dealt a substantial blow due to COVID-19. They're looking to leaders like you for guidance on how to stay afloat today and how to position themselves for success tomorrow. And I want you to know that FPL stands shoulder to shoulder with you and our business community. And we're going to do everything we can to help. For us, that means continuing to deliver America's best energy value. Electricity is not just clean and reliable, but also, importantly, affordable. And delivering on this promise means we have to constantly look over the horizon, because we have a responsibility to not only serve customers in the short term amid a global pandemic, but we also have to make sure that we're positioned to meet the energy needs of our customers and for the future generations for decades to come. Quite frankly, it's what customers expect from us, and it's the right thing to do. It's why we're continuing to build America's strongest, smartest energy grid, to be even more resilient in the face of Florida's extreme weather. This includes putting more neighborhood power lines underground. It's why we're continuing to invest in smart grid technology, to predict and, importantly, to prevent outages and to restore power faster when an outage does occur. It's why we're working to usher in a more sustainable energy future for our state, making Florida a solar leader with 30 million solar panels installed by 2030. It's why we're building the world's largest solar-powered battery to deliver you more clean energy, even when the sun isn't shining. And it's why we're getting ready to test innovative green hydrogen technology to potentially unlock a future where electricity is truly 100% carbon-free. Now, I realize you can't look at your calendar and circle the end of all this pandemic. And for many, that makes the future much more fuzzy and out of focus. But that balance of tackling today's problems while always looking to the future is ingrained in our DNA at FPL. And I know it's exactly what our local chambers and all of you in our business community are doing and can continue to do. That's exactly what our business community needs right now. Steady leadership to carry them through this tough time and to set them up for success when this is all over. If there's one thing I know about Floridians, it's that we're battle tested. Regardless of what's thrown at us, typically it's a hurricane, we find a way to band together and to overcome it, oftentimes coming out stronger. I have no doubt that we'll defeat COVID-19 and our economy will recover. And if we're really smart about this, we'll market all that our great state has to offer to attract new businesses and ensure that Florida's economy continues to be the envy of others long after the pandemic is over. It will take time, but we will get there together. You have my commitment that FPL will continue to be there with you during this pandemic and long after, delivering to you America's best energy value today and in the weeks and the years ahead. Thank you again for the opportunity to be with you virtually, and enjoy the rest of your annual meeting. Keep up the great work, and above all else, please stay safe.
Well, thank you, Eric, so much. We are very grateful to have you be able to do that for us today. We really appreciate everything that you and all your employees do to keep the lights on for us. And I appreciate you reminding us about the resiliency of Floridians. We're counting on that resiliency to help our economy come back, not just come back to level, but come back even stronger. So again, thank you for that message. Now, as we wrap up today's event, I want to again thank those sponsors. Sponsors, if you think about it, they originally made a commitment back in May to commit to an in-person meeting. And so many of them were willing to then transfer that sponsorship to today's virtual meeting. And I really want to thank them for all their support that they have given us. Without their support, we would not be able to do this work, do this event, or do the mission of the Chamber. So thank you very much. I also want to thank again our investor businesses. We appreciate so much your unwavering support of the Chamber, its team, and our mission. If you're interested in learning more about how to invest in the Chamber, please contact Bethany Sawyer, our Vice President of Membership, or any member of our team for more information. At the Greater Naples Chamber, our goal is to make meaningful connections that drive results for the businesses in our community. In today's world, those connections are more valuable than ever. Your support allows us to continue to serve Naples, Collier County, and our region, and to cultivate opportunity for all. Thank you so much for joining us for this virtual annual meeting, and please have a wonderful rest of your day.